You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I saw this and thought it was very interesting. Mark Cuban, who had owned the Dallas Mavericks, political ideology aside, a very savvy business guy, a guy that, of course, is on Shark Tank, and people bring in the inventions, their ideas for businesses, and he does a yay or nay. I believe Kevin O'Leary's on there. I like that guy a lot. But nonetheless, he's got a lot of experience because of his ownership tie with the Dallas Mavericks forever. And he has now entered the chat on the WNBA CBA talks. And what he's got to say is going viral right now. It's just been out a couple of hours and has 750,000 views on it. And he did a quote tweet on what the players' counter proposal was. Something very interesting in this is he just flat comes right out and admits the WNBA cannot afford to pay these players big salaries. He comes right out and admits it, that the structure, the way the business is set up, they don't make enough money. They don't make enough money. Make sure you guys hit subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. Hit the like button. Check out blackwhitenetwork.com for memberships, exclusive content, a lot of good merch up there right now. So, let's go through this because he believes that the WNBA needs to adopt a NIL style of revenue payment for players and change how this entire system is done. Now, here's the problem, and he tries to say that, well, there's college players coming into the league that's giving up a ton of money because they're coming into the league. Well, because of NIL deals, and there's some big ones. That's happening in the NFL. It's happening in all sports, but it's happening even in the juggernaut NFL. For example, 7th round of the NFL draft last year, a University of Texas quarterback named Quinn Ewers decided to declare and come out into the draft. Gets drafted by the Dolphins. Now, in the 7th round, you're getting paid roughly 4 years, $5 million. All right? Now, there were rumors, we'll call it educated rumors, that he had a deal on the table for at least $5 million to play quarterback for some school. By the way, Ty Simpson's got the same deal on the table right now. $6.5 million by one of a Big Ten school or SEC school. He's still going to the NFL. But my point is, there were rumors Quinn Ewers was offered. I can tell you this. I had gotten a hold of a juicy rumor that North Carolina and Bill Belichick had offered Quinn Ewers $8 million to play quarterback this past season. And then he turned it down. Would have been a lot more interesting to see what their season would have looked like with Quinn Ewers at quarterback. But my point is, this is going to be an issue as long as the NIL thing in college is happening. But I tell you that story because I want you to understand these college playing women are not on an island by themselves. It's all college players coming into leagues, and depending on where they're drafted, they may have been making more money in college. That's just facts now. So, right here, the crazy part is that no matter what the WNBA does with salaries, every star college player will take a pay cut to play in the WNBA. I asked a few ADs, athletic directors, what the going rate is for the star player on a power conference WBB team, a women's basketball team. It's $500,000 to $1.2 million. And if you are always a free agent with the portal, you get your room and board paid for. By the way, I think changes in the college structure is coming. Just letting you know. And you can get a good education if you work at it. It's all subsidized by donors and shared school revenues, which makes it more similar to Europe. where companies subsidize teams than to the WNBA. In the NBA, a team can't go to a sponsor and negotiate a direct payment deal for a player. In college, they effectively can with NIL money. When I have written checks to IU, Indiana University, I knew which players they were trying to get with the money. The WNBA needs to look at allowing the same thing. Let the teams go to local sponsors and work out payments to players as part of a sponsorship package. By the way, somebody very astutely in the comments brought up the Las Vegas Aces tried to do something like this, and the league nailed them for it. Nailed them for it. The big-name players have agents to do this. The rest make minimal amounts with or without an agent. Let the WNBA teams pay NIL money to its players. It's counterintuitive for the NBA folks. But here's the issue. And he's just going to admit it, the WNBA can't afford to pay bigger salaries. The WNBA teams don't have the margin dollars from tickets, sponsors, and shared revenue like TV to pay bigger salaries using their own cash flow. He just told you the W ain't got the money. Well, all the players keep saying, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Mark Cuban knows for a fact they do not. Some teams, and let's be real, the Indiana Fever, San Francisco, the Golden State Valkyries, New York Liberty, probably Seattle. I don't know. I know their attendance is good. But I would say you got maybe 3 teams in the whole league, 3, that are probably printing money. The rest of them, I would guess, are losing their ass. Just being honest. Losing their ass. With the help from the league, they could create NIL deals with sponsors that go directly to players. From the sponsors, make it legal. Create a cap per player based on years of experience. Yes, some teams will suck at it. That's where the WNBA comes in to help. They will suck at it as well for some period. But like collegiate NIL, the sponsorship packages will supplement players' salaries without undermining the economics of the teams and the league itself. The next question will be competitive balance issues. The big markets can do better at this. Absolutely. A local Chevrolet commercial in Phoenix is not worth what it is in New York. Let's just keep it real. One player get $50,000 for the same commercial a Phoenix player gets $7,000 for. Just being honest. It's the way it is. They can have great addressable market sponsors for market for sponsors. The WNBA would require that some percentage of the NIL money deals go into a pool for a version of a revenue share. This is effectively what happens with jersey ads. I remember advocating that jersey ads be split among all teams because the greatest value to sponsors does not come from local TV or games, but from national TV, playoffs, and jersey sales. All right, so, and here you go. This guy said right here, they got busted, investigated by the league, the Las Vegas Aces, for exactly that. Las Vegas was literally supplementing the players' salaries, if I remember that correctly, or some form of that was happening. But I saw this and was like, that's really interesting. The really interesting part is also just coming out and saying most of these teams don't have the money to pay those players. That the league does not have the money. Now, whether or not he understands the new media rights deal, I don't know. But the new media rights deal is $240 million a year. The NBA is getting $7.7 billion with a damn big-ass B on it, as in Bob or as in Bumblebee or as in Biatch. I mean, it's a shit ton different money, and that's why the salaries are so different. It's an interesting thought. There's a lot of comments under there that are stating the obvious. If they can't bring in the revenue, to have the league shut the league down. I understand that. I mean, to be honest, I get that way of thinking too. Look, if you can't generate the revenue as a league, is the league truly successful? And you're always, no matter what, you're going to have the haves and the have-nots. That's just the way it is. All right. Now, whether or not that would you heard what he said, based on player experience, a cap number. What happens to a player like Caitlin Clark that walks into the league bigger than everybody put together? And she's making like, what is it? 16 million. I think I did a video from sponsorships, AKA NIL, kind of. Basically same thing. What happens? All of a sudden she got to get rid of sponsors because she got to get under the cap? That's bullshit. A player should be able to draw whatever they can draw from whatever sponsors. And then they could have a revenue share. So I like some of what he's saying, and some of it I don't think is viable. But the college to pro salary discrepancy, that's not just a WNBA thing. It's going to be all leagues, all draftable players, etc. Look, Ty Simpson will probably go in the late first round of the NFL draft. People still think he's crazy for not going back to school and making that bread because he's eligible for another year. Tell me what you think. I thought this was interesting from a savvy business guy. Can't stand his politics, but he knows he's got plenty of money. He's made plenty of money. I thought this was interesting. Seems to me like the WNBA and the WNBA PA and Mark Cuban all need to get in a room together. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.